It's funny though, you talk a lot about leadership qualities, but I never heard you once use the phrase that we always know, which is leadership by example. Where does that fit in your frameworks
That's
and your...
remember the walking the talk? That's leadership by example. So I'm walking the talk. So you see what I'm doing, you follow me. Monkey see, monkey do, right? So you see me doing these things. So if I see you doing those things, then I know how to follow because you're doing the right things already. But in the storming stage, some people, they don't work immediately with their immediate manager all the time. And now a lot of people work from home. So connection also is less. So that makes it even more difficult to connect with people. So walking the talk, doing leadership by example comes after observing the leader for some time. But day to day, I'm not observing you all the time. You are out, I'm not out, whatever. So your job as a leader, you need to be in touch and connected to your staff to see behaviors that tell you which phase they're in. So storming phase, you must go in. A lot of leaders do this. When the staff doesn't perform, it's a HR problem. Staff demotivated, HR problem. Staff depressed, HR problem. Staff delinquent, HR problem. Discipline issue, punctuality issue, HR problem. Not a HR problem. Every manager or leader is a HR manager.
I don't think managers would like to hear that.
No, some clients I have, their name card has their role. People manager finance. People manager sales. They put the people manager word in their name card to remind them also I'm a people manager.
Yeah. It's not a HR problem.
It's not a HR problem. HR will come in when they need to come in, when it's quite extreme and for certain roles. But every leader is a people manager, managing human beings. Tasks, they will manage. You are managing them so they can manage their tasks well. So that's the storming stage. If you do that well, then you will see them come out of the storming stage.
Into?
The norming stage, normalization. People are now starting to do what? So you'll see the graph go up. Right? So we have an assessment for all this also. And you have seen the graph go up. Competency is still going up because now I know, okay, cool. I understand my mistake. Okay, now I'm well equipped with the right training. Okay, but the morale also starts to increase. Why? I've got somebody who I could speak to, who supported me, who is there for me. I have access to. So I feel much more confident. I feel much more comfortable. Trust level, in fact, increases a bit more. I feel a bit more sense of belonging. Now I think I understand the culture here, the way things work here. Now I think I've created a space for myself.
Okay.
So now you have what we call the norming stage. And what is the behaviors? Acceptance, number one. So complaining, blaming becomes less. Teamwork starts to increase. Those days it was, I felt when you talk, you're blaming me. Now, okay, let's talk about it. Let's discuss. So let's discuss. Let us discuss. You will start to hear us, we, our. Earlier it was me, my, mine, and I, right? That kind of things. So it's I language versus now we language. So now you have a sense as a leader, my team is transitioning positively. They are making progress towards really becoming more coherent as a team. Even from the way they speak. So you must be observant as a leader. Like parents at home. If you start to hear your kids, always arguing about, my toy, my toy, my toy, you are telling them share. They couldn't be bothered about sharing because they're constantly in storming stage. One thinks the other one is the favorite. This one thinks the other one is the favorite.
So basically normalcy, the norming stage is from the storming, then it sort of becomes, it starts off in the storming and then it sort of matures into an accepted culture in a company. And that's the norming stage, right?
Right. So accepted culture, not the crisis is accepted.
Yeah, so that's what I ask you. So like say for example, if a company stays in the storming phase, they don't manage all the conflicts, they don't talk about staff morale and all that. Can that then evolve into becoming the norming stage where that culture stays? That means that can become like what you said earlier, this is just the way it is. Is that a normancy gone wrong? Norming gone wrong?
So that's not norming, that's still storming.
Okay.
Right? But because you're there long enough, you have, become numb to that scenario. So you're still not performing. You're still not going to give more than you are paid for. You will still behave exactly like a storming person, but right now the only difference is you have become numb to the pain. So you are also not going to be, if that person in that job is a leader, they will be a leader constantly in storms.
Okay.
So you have accepted it, but you're still not in the norming stage. Norming stage means you have now understood why things happen. You have got out of the storm. You're no more in the storm anymore. Now, if a company is constantly in crisis, that means the leaders up there are not doing what they're supposed to do to mitigate the crisis. Right? And you don't want to be in a crisis for a long time, the company will collapse.
So it all boils down to a leadership failure.
Yes.
Okay.
Because you make the wrong decisions that impact the whole team. I see an iceberg. I hit the iceberg. Now we are trying to survive and we are steering the ship away on another iceberg, and I say still go the next iceberg. So I'm constantly hitting icebergs. How are you going to escape?
But okay, then if you look at another example, Apple. One of the things that Steve Jobs was famous for doing was he would pit teams against one another. So that is sort of like harboring conflict in order to achieve one's goal.
Okay. So that's one way of looking at it.
Okay, but is that bad, or is that under this storming phase? Is that can that be said to be storming?
So instead of harboring conflict, I would term it as harboring competition. Competition is I'm competing with you because I want to do better than you. So if we compete, but we are competing in a healthy way, like competition, no? So that will be something which not really storming. That is just basically how you're operating. But along the way, if some people start to behave in that behavior, so complaining, blaming, tai chi, not taking ownership, those are things that will indicate we are storming. Now the company can be doing very well, hitting targets, but certain people in the department can be storming. So how we decide whether you're informing, storming, norming, performing is from the behaviors we see. The company's culture may be to pit things together, to constantly have competitions between teams. That's all fine. But if you see behavior of staff, according to those, that means the symptoms are of like that. That means that's the disease, right? Everybody else doesn't feel that way, but this person feels that way. So then you have a problem. If the whole organization, if Apple as a company starts to behave that way, then that won't work. That means Steve Jobs has to change his approach. But if that way makes the company perform better, then that's the right thing to do.
Okay.
You see. So when you go into norming, so if a company fails, again, like you said, boils on to leader. Now, I think even in your show before, if a company has been operating for some time and you cannot make a decent profit, then it must be the decision made by the people on top. Wrong market, wrong product, wrong marketing, quality is not good, your post and pre-customer service hopeless. So who makes these decisions? The leaders. Putting people in certain places, who makes the decisions? Leaders. How you reward people, who makes the decisions? Leaders, right? So end of the day, I will go back to the leader and ask, what are you all doing about this? If you're doing different things but getting the same result, something is wrong. Do you have the wrong person in that place? If the wrong person in that place, then wrong job fit, take that person, put somewhere else. It's again the leader's role. If your children end up all becoming terrorists, who do I blame? So sometimes I also find parents.
By the way, that was an example from the left, man. That was a curveball. Just I think, what, terrorists?
Because parents are also leaders. So I will tell parents like to say that the child is successful because of me. So for your question also, the company is successful not just because of the leader, also the staff. You get the right people, motivated people. Okay? But in the corporate world, you hire people, you interview people, correct? Parenting, you cannot hire. You get the one, you get the one. And you have to make the best out of that particular scenario.
Those are the cards you're dealt with.
Yes. So if you inherit a team, then similar. So you have to make the best out of the team. So if, as a leader, when you make good decisions and the people below you are good people, so both of you are responsible. But if you make bad decisions, the good people will struggle. You see? Now, if they are strong enough to share with you and assert themselves or give you ideas and options, that's good. If you're willing to listen, also good. If you're not willing to listen, then what happens? You see? So then these people will leave because they can see, I'm not going to go anywhere with this because I don't see production with this guy or with this lady. No results. I want to go somewhere. I don't want to belong to a team that doesn't win championships. You see? So I will leave. It's as simple as that. So, but if it's successful, of course, leader major role, but the team also plays a role. If you are a good leader, but you don't have good players, how to win competition? So you need the both. But the leader has to make important decisions. Same also if the child is not successful. You cannot then say, oh, it's because of television and school and friends and media. What are you doing all the while? So if parents want full credit for success of the child, you must take full blame also for the unsuccessful outcome of your child. But then they won't take full blame.
No, they won't.
So in companies also, if the leader has enough time, to get the right people, groom the right people and all that stuff, both are success, or both are contributing to the company's success. But the leader plays a very critical role. And where you are in the chain of command in the company makes a difference. So you're not going to blame the office boy if the company doesn't do well. Correct? You're not going to blame the person at the front counter. They will say, I'm just listening to instructions.
Yeah.
So the leader plays a major role. Like parents, they play a major role in the child's success. So norming, when you are in norming, you see those behaviors. The job of the leader or the role of the leader there now will be to support.
Okay.
So in forming, you direct. In storming, you coach. Coach, counsel. In norming, your job is support. Now, support is a very big word, and different people read it differently. So support here means what your team cannot do themselves, do not have access to, you have to do it for them. So for example, certain things that the team has told you, this is not working, boss, because right now customers don't want this. They want something else. We don't have this particular system in place. We need to get it. We are losing business because the system is not there. We cannot do this. Now the boss, or in this case the manager, needs to go and talk to the GM or senior manager or whatever. So that the leader must do. So my job as the leader at that level is to give my team whatever resources they need so they can do the job well. So I have to go and fight. I have to put, at that stage, I call it normally in my class, I will say, you need to put your head on the chopping block for your team. Which means if you have to go and really fight, assert, be firm with your bosses, you have to. And some of my clients who stay with their team member, I would say performing teams, right? Now again, performing team, when people are hearing this, they will say, oh, I meet KPI, what? I must be performing. No. You can meet KPI by constantly pushing, scolding, screaming. You also can meet KPI. Right? So you would say, oh, that means I'm a level 3 result-oriented production leader. No. You're still a level 1. Because you have to push. You are not a level 3 leader. You don't have permission yet. Level 2 you have not achieved. So you can still. So if you are pushing for that and you end up doing all the work yourself, you still produce results. But you're not a leader. So one of these clients I had, the team has told me, we have seen the GM go into the CEO's room for hours trying to push what the team needs. And sometimes she comes out disappointed. Sometimes she gets what she wants. And for us, we don't care whether she gets what she wants. Of course, we want it to happen. But what gets us so connected to her and the respect is so much because she goes and she fights. She doesn't take no for an answer. And she keeps on finding different ways to fight for us. And that is a team that says, she leaves, we leave. You see? So that is what not many leaders, that is a true leader. That's a true leader. I put myself in danger for the sake of my team. I've met, oh my goodness, at regional level, I'm talking about ASEAN, APEC level, I've seen leaders also. When that happens, when there's a crisis scenario where you know what you should do, but you're afraid for your career progression, they just refrain, I've seen leaders like that. And when I talk to the team members, and the engagement score of that team, super low. And the leader cannot accept. He goes and scolds the team even more. How can you all score so low? They're like, but this is anonymous and we said what we... No, I've done so much for you all. Very narcissistic behavior. They shift the entire conversation back to themselves. I've done so many things for you, but I don't feel it, no? I don't feel it, boss. No, but y'all, that's why y'all are not observant, y'all are not sensitive, y'all don't think about me. But this engagement survey is about how we think about how we feel in the company. And you're part of the question. And if you feel this way, no, don't argue with me, y'all don't respect me. All that comes out. So you would think, at that level, shouldn't you know how to lead? But no. Not everybody knows. And people have gotten by producing results. And the top people might not know how you lead the team. They don't know the culture, atmosphere, the weather in that particular department. So engagement surveys are important to know, because you get the best out of people when people are happy doing what they're doing. Right? So that's the scenario. So when you are in the norming stage, your job as a leader, you don't have to hold hands anymore. Not really. So you just have to make sure you give them the resources they need so they can do the job even better. In the agile terminology, they might call this person the Scrum Master. To basically get the people together to sort of get the job done. I will deal with the product owner, for example. So these concepts are already there, right? But packaged in a different way. But that's basically leadership. So then you do that well, what happens? People do the job well, now you hit the next stage, performing. That's where you will see the morale graph and the competency graph very close together. Because here you have behaviors that every leader wants. And what's the behavior? Accountability, ownership, proactivity. Before the problem happens, the staff knows. The boss calls for a meeting and they're all observant. What happened recently? Boss calls for a meeting. Boss, we know what you're going to talk about. We got 3 options. Performing stage, initiative, creativity. All those things come when you are at the performing stage. Plus, you will see some people say, boss, anything bigger to do? Anything more for us to do? Or not? I had one client who said, this was a senior manager. He says, I don't know why I come to office anymore. And I asked him why. Because they don't need me. They just can do everything themselves, autonomous. And so I said, then you go to office, what do? I just sign those expensive checks, which is beyond their level for the budget, and that's what I do. I said, then what else? I don't know, Suresh. So I think I have to go to the next level. And that's right. That's what he must do. So now we call you at that level an accomplished leader. You have gotten a team to be able to operate without you. If you can do that with one team, I can put you anywhere in any part of the world, in any business, and you will use the same recipe. And if you can do that, you can train these other leaders below you to do the same. So your organization grows.
Interesting. You in all of this, you seem to prioritize the human-to-human relation, right? But we are seeing now a changing trend, and I don't want to go too deep into this, but just because this is an important thing now, it's happening, which is AI.
Okay.
So the HR department now in various big MNCs and all, they are adopting AI solutions.
Yes.
And they are relying on these AI solutions to actually provide them with the know-how or tips on how to manage staff and various other things, right? Mm-hmm. How would AI impact what you're talking about, which is building relationship, requiring the permission of the person, which requires you to go to the ground, speak to them and all that? Mm-hmm. How is AI going to change things?
I mean, AI, what I see right now, right? I see AI now helping in a lot of operational stuff. Things to help you do the tasks, better, become more productive. But as long as you hire human beings want human beings, to connect with them. Now, of course, there are some select. One of these news reports I read lately was that AI, ChatGPT, in fact, is used a lot of ChatGPT is used for therapy. Interestingly enough, because talking to ChatGPT always gives you a very gentle answer. So maybe in terms of managing feelings and all that, some people resort to ChatGPT. But when you're working in a company and you have a leader that you have to meet and talk to, that connection you cannot lose. AI will maybe help you do certain things, right? But again, AI cannot replace a human being, and AI cannot replace a therapist, or at least not yet. At least not yet. Yeah. But the human-to-human connection, as long as you are working with people, that there is no compromise.
But will that lead? My point is, will that lead to poorer outcomes if the integration or the acceptance of AI grows as time goes on?
Poor outcome in
terms of managing people and bringing out the best in your staff, like what you talk about, like going from the storming to norming and then to the performing, right? You want staff that's proactive and all that, but that would happen in a world where AI is not there.
Yep.
Now that AI is there, that it can provide a crutch to managers, to staff and all that. Will it impact the quality of the performance of your staff, staff under a leader?
What I think is, you will not need so many people, first of all, because AI will be taking away all those jobs. But you will need people to manage whatever AI is doing for you, right? Until you come to a stage where you don't need anybody, then we have a problem. That's a different problem. But as long as, if you even have AI agents, right? That's what they have right now. You still need somebody to manage all that. Because the people on top are making strategic decisions. If you're talking about sales, somebody has to be selling. You're talking about service repair, somebody has to be doing that as well. AI is not doing that yet. So things that AI can do, you will not need people for those tasks, but you will be needing people for other things as well. So certain departments, you will see more things are done now or replaced and given to AI. But there will still be departments where you still really need hardcore people. Even in the warehouse, until they find robots that can do all the storing and cataloging and all that themselves, you will still need people.
So that means you're saying that the same principles or tips that you give now will still be applicable in a world where AI is also quite predominant.
Correct. Unless AI starts to become like my job, right? You start to have robots doing training. Now you have AI. You can have me speaking, but it's actually AI.
Yeah.
But people know because it's not that refined yet. But I can also create an AI agent which is Suresh, and my clients do a program with me or subscribe, whatever it is, and they need my input. Then they talk to my AI. But again, will Suresh really say that? They might still want to know. In certain scenarios, I think I better call him and talk to him because I will probably ask different questions. And you can connect with people differently. There's the level of intuition that AI does not have yet.
Of course.
So that's what I see. That I don't see it as. I don't see much of a change in terms of that people-to-people connection. Less people, yes, depending on the job also.
Okay, so now let's go to the next part of it because we spent a lot of time talking about leadership.
Okay, but when you come to performing, the leader's job, we haven't said what the leader must do there.
Okay, yeah, go on.
So when your team is already performing, you're an accomplished manager. Now your job is empower, and already you must now develop and choose your successors and start grooming people for that level. In the classic forming storming, the classic Tuckman phase, they use the word delegate for the last portion. But for me, delegate you do along the way. So delegate here, what they mean also is delegate and empower. Delegate and let go. So empower them, let them make the decisions because they already know what to do. And now your job is at the back there, you support. Or you mentor also. But here you must already choose who will be the next you or will take over that role. Who can also be even better than you, in fact. But that's what you will do at the fourth stage.
Which is the final stage, so that's what comes to...
Final stage, if you're in project management, will be adjourning. Project over, now you adjourn. Right? Everybody is disbanded. Now you go back to your normal common job. I come, and different teams come together again, or committees or whatever, for the next project. Then you go back to forming again. But normally, in the normal organization setup, forming, storming, norming, performing.
All right. So now let's go to the next part of this, which is, of course, we talk about leaders, but what about the staff? We talk about staff also, a lot of performance and the staff and all that. You say that there are many different types of employees.
Yes.
How many types of employees are there? And what are those types?
Okay, so this is where you've got two different aspects here. One is personality. So personality, we say there are many personality types out there. You got the ocean, you got the disc, you got the MBTI and all that. But I normally use DOPE. DOPE is Dove, Owl, Peacock, Eagle, which is the fun version of DISC. DISC is, okay, so DISC, D stands for dominant, the dominant type, which basically for me is the eagle. I is the influencer. This is the peacock, right? Then you've got the S, which is we call the steady ones. These are the doves. The pigeons are the doves. Then you've got the C, the compliant ones. These are the owls. So people, you can actually divide them into 4 types.
Okay.
And when I use the birds in the class, I also act like a bird. And one of my clients, IKEA actually, is a very good client, long-term client. One of their regional managers, Sebastian, I think, his name, he says, he talks to me in bird language. Bird language meaning he says, okay, so some of my birds have flown off for a day. Okay, they've gone to different countries, and I've got a few that just landed. So I need to find out, how many eagles, how many peacocks, how many doves. So we talk that way. Another client, Experian, also very good client. In meetings, sometimes what they do is, if somebody is very direct, you don't want to say, hey, can you not be direct? It's a bit difficult. So what they do, in fact, is they'll say, I think we need to be a bit more dove.
Okay.
So the moment you say that, the entire room knows what they're talking about. They call me, they refer to me as the peacock. I am the peacock. So the peacock trainer, So
because you're the influencer, lah.
I'm the influencer, but the different personalities have different attributes, character traits, let's say. So being vocal, maybe a bit more flamboyant, or not all the time, but somebody who enjoys praise, somebody who loves ideas, loves to socialize, chit chat, talk, witty, makes jokes here and there. So that's very classic peacock, right? So the eagles, the doves, the peacocks, the owls all have their own characterization. So that's one, but that does not tell you about the competence level.
Okay, so what does that tell you?
So personality tells you their innate tendencies, how they prefer to communicate, how they normally process information, when they are stressed up, what they do, right? And what are some of the natural strengths that come with being that personality. For example, eagles and peacocks are a bit more expressive. Peacocks a bit more of the humorous types compared to all the 4. right? All can have humor. All of us have all 4 types inside, but which are your first, second, third, fourth types? Then you've got the eagles who are a bit more goal-driven, task-oriented. So that tells you, okay, this person with that natural talent, you don't have to groom them so much in that area. You've put them in an environment which supports their natural talent, they will shine. And they will be proactive, they will be creative to do their best in that area. If I put an eagle in a very dove environment, dove environments are environments which are very stable. Nothing changes much. It's all about harmony in the workplace. They are normally, they're very loyal. They sacrifice a lot for other people. But it's very stable. Things which are sudden rush, crisis, situations where suddenly need you to jump out of your comfort zone, doves will take some time. They will try their best to help you, but it's very uncomfortable for them. So if I put the eagle in a dove environment, they get bored. I put the dove in an eagle environment, they get stressed. You see? Overwhelmed because it's too much going on and I'm constantly being pushed. So personality. So if you're talking about job and career, you must know who you are because you're going to spend 40 years of your life. If you're doing something you don't like, you must be out of your mind. You must be nuts. You must be nuts to do something day in, day out, not enjoying it, having to go through an environment which is, then they will call it a toxic environment, difficult environment. But if you put an eagle in an eagle environment, they will thrive. You put a peacock in a peacock environment, they will thrive. And very little you need to do, except maybe sharpen certain skills. But the drive, the attitude, the motivation is there. I was in an owl job. Owl is the opposite of a peacock. Owl job meaning Microsoft Excel. Oh my God. Microsoft Excel is my enemy number 1. Thank God there is AI now. My goodness. So my boss, super owl, at that time, and she was so good that I felt stupid.
So owls are basically more compliant.
They are compliant. They are the ones that, you want me to give you the brief of all 4?
Yeah, definitely. I'm waiting for that. You did dove and eagle, then you just skip. Okay.
So I'll give you, so that one itself is 1.5 hours. I do in my class. So I'll give it to you.
A brief one, yeah.
So I'll give you all 4.
Okay.
So I'll start with the doves. So doves, you have an idea already.
Yeah.
But doves, we call them the get-alongs. If there's 2 words you will represent the doves, it's called the get-alongs. All right. So it means for me, it's about getting along. I have no problem following. All right. You lead the way, I will support you all the way. Very supportive people. Very good team players. You put them anywhere, they will try to accommodate. You ask them, where you want to go for lunch? Up to you. That's the type. What do you want to eat? Anything. So my father used to disturb my mother and say, there's no anything on the menu. So that's how they are. And they put other people's happiness before theirs. That's normally how it is. Okay. So if you're happy, I am happy. If they're going to go back at 5 o'clock, you give them a job to do at 4:50. They will, in their heart is like, are you nuts? But they will never tell you. The face and the mouth will tell you, okay. But in the heart, I don't like it. But they won't tell you also because I don't want conflict. They don't know how to say no also. Right? So that is just the nature of the doves. Now, good thing about doves, they are the accommodating good team players. They are also the ones which are the most patient. You put a dove in the front counter of a complaint management department. They will tell you they don't like it, but they will perform the best. Because customers can shout, scream and all that. They will say, okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Sorry, sir. Let me see what I can do. Very calm, very gentle.
Okay.
But in the heart, they're like, oh my God, that customer is crazy. But they are naturally more patient. Out of all the 4 types, they are the most patient. So if I'm a leader and I'm looking for a person for a particular role, the personality makes a difference. I can train you to do the processing. But when you're dealing with a crazy customer, training you to be patient, not very easy. But if you're naturally that type, a bit easier for me. You will still feel affected, but I help you manage your stress.
Okay.
But that style you speak are very different.
Okay.
So it makes a difference. Okay. Now, next one is opposite of the dove is the eagle.
Okay.
Now, the eagles, we call them the get it done. For them, get the job done. How you do it, murder, kill, steal, don't ask me. You tell me what you want, big picture, objective, let me fly, done. Confirm done. Deadline conscious, result oriented, action oriented. Do not like excuses. Don't know. What do you mean don't know? Go and find out. Not sure. And who's sure? Go and find out.
Sounds familiar.
Like you. Yes. So But basically, eagles, that's what they are. So they are very driven. Bosses love eagles because I give you a job, I close my eyes, I know it's done. Now, the challenge with eagles will be sometimes very fast moving. Planning might not be 100%. So they might jump into, then they figure out what to do, right? So good and bad depends on the situation. Eagles are also very direct. What you see is what you get. Okay, that's how it is.
I wish my wife was here.
Really? You don't like it, too bad, tough luck, figure it out. That is how eagles function.
Okay.
Okay, so in the corporate world, some people have asked me this question. Is there a particular type combination?
Yeah.
Yeah, that you see at the top. So we say any type, I'll tell you the other two as well, any type can become a CEO. But depends on the situation that you're in as a CEO. But what I noticed, because I have my own sort of app and we've already got inputs, I don't know how many thousand people from 35 countries. So I can even tell you a breakdown of, at a particular level, you will see out of the top 2 personality types, eagle will be one of them. So you have all 4. If I do it with you, you will have the eagle, the peacock, the owl, the dove all inside. But we will see the top 2 and the bottom 2. The top 2 highest scores. So whatever CEO, most CEOs, what we find is, or most leaders at that level, one of their top 2 is eagle, right? But you have also some of them who don't have. But when you are in the CEO level, you need to behave like an eagle in certain scenarios. So if you don't have that naturally, you can develop it, but it takes effort. That's the difference. So everybody can become a CEO, but if you're a CEO in a crisis, eagle really needed, because it's all now about getting everybody off the ship. And whatever cargo we can save, we save. And no questions asked. I say you do. That's it. Don't talk about SOP details later. Save first. So you need eagle in that scenario. But if everything is calm and you're constantly eagle, people are, what is the rush, man? Are you crazy or what? Where is the fire? There is no fire. What's wrong? So you need to balance. Okay, you need to balance it, my friend. You need to balance it. Okay. So that's eagle. Now, eagle's challenge is sometimes too direct. And not everybody can take it. Not everybody can take it. So their bluntness can become the reason people don't survive around them. So they have to manage that. So that's an area for eagles to develop. So we call them the get it done because they get things done, no issues. So they will move mountains, in fact. They're very resourceful. They are good in leadership positions. They take charge automatically. If you empower them, they love you like crazy. Right? But you have to give them some boundaries, some rules. You fly here, don't fly somewhere else. Right? So that's the scenario. And again, we are all combinations of all 4. So when I tell people this, I will look at their top 2, because your second type supports your first type. Yeah. But anyway, we're talking about the first type now, right? Okay. So you've got the get alongs, you've got the get it done.
Okay. So those are your doves and your eagles.
Yes.
Okay.
Now, the next one is the peacock. Okay. So the peacocks are the ones we say are the most flexible out of all the 4. The eagles are the most self-motivated. That means I will bounce back faster than everybody else. The doves are the most patient. The peacocks are the most flexible. These are the ones which are very creative. Their ideas just flow from where only God knows. Right? Sometimes their ideas might not make sense to anybody else, but they generate ideas like no problem. Okay, what about this? What about this? What about this? They like to try different things, and they are very socially inclined. They love meeting people. They love chit-chatting. They love. They are normally the life of the party. The classic peacock. Now, if you're a peacock dove, maybe not so loud, because the dove keeps you a bit more balanced. If you're a peacock eagle, oh, that's it, man. Oh, you are loud. The deaf person can hear you. That's how it is. And these people are nice to be around. If they have something in their mind, because they are peacocks, they are a bit more tactful. So they try to choose the voice because peacocks and doves share something in common. They are people-oriented. It's about relationships. So the eagles and the owls are task-oriented. So if a person is a peacock and dove combination, very people-oriented. So when it comes to making decisions which are tough, becomes difficult for them. You see? So coming back to the peacocks we call them the get attentions or the get acknowledgement types. So for them, when you praise, if I praise the peacock, I say, Vinod, your podcast, the last week podcast was unbelievable. Oh, boom, your wings all come out. And that whole week, you're totally motivated. It's like, really, Suresh? Tell me what you liked about it. So you fish. So
Please don't stop.
yeah, tell me more. Really? Oh, okay. So they enjoy it, and you get the best out of the peacocks. Peacocks are also the type that are quick to change because they're flexible. If something needs to change, they will change. All right, and they are not fussy about details. They're not fussy about compliance in that manner. If it gets the job done like the eagle, then I don't mind changing. Eagles will change if it helps me with my end goal. Peacocks will change for the sake of trying something new. I want more options. So peacocks are like that. So if you're a peacock-eagle connection, so that gives you a different dynamic. Peacock-dove, different. Peacock-owl, different. Right? So peacocks, what else about peacocks? Peacocks being peacocks, the challenge can be sometimes not detailed enough. So if I put the peacock in an environment which is very detailed, like in my case, Excel and all these numbers and all that stuff, I can do it, but it takes a lot of energy out of me. I need an environment that I get to meet people. I can socialize, I can chit-chat, I can talk. I would love the environment. Environment where I'm away from people will not get the best out of me. So if you put me in sales, nice. Put me in service where I deal with people, nice. You put me in PR, communications, marketing, all that nice. HR, no problem. So in Sunway, I was in HR. So no problem. Meeting people, I loved. I used to go to different floors every day, inviting people for breakfast. And people were wondering, which clown is this? That's my first week in the company, let me tell you.
First week in the company.
First week is because I don't know anyone. I don't like having breakfast alone.
So you would just walk into a random floor in the Sunway building.
No, start with Tan Sri's level 19. In Menara Sunway, I remember. And then like, hi, I'm Suresh. Anybody want to have breakfast with me? I'm new. They look at me like, I say, okay, thank you. Next day.
Correct me wrong, but this is a company that's predominantly Chinese, right? They would have thought this
crazy, yeah, correct.
This is lunatic.
Correct. But because of that, when they finally attend my training, oh, you're the one always asking us for breakfast. I say, yes. That kind of scenario. And if I don't find anybody for breakfast, I go to we have a cafe at our basement, right? I just sit with some random person. Can I sit? Yes. Then I start talking. So which department are you from? Which company are you from? They will start to talk to me. And then I will share, I'm new in HR. Oh, okay, you're new and all that. So we chit-chat. So next time I see them, it's less uncomfortable. Ice is really broken. Maybe that becomes my a bit more common breakfast friend. Or they introduce me to another friend. So that's how I am. So that's how peacocks are. All right. But peacocks being peacocks, see, acknowledgement very important. Freedom very important. If you don't give me these things, then I become, what shall I say? It affects the person's emotion very much. Because peacocks are, to some extent, what we say, people who love to feel good about themselves. There's a very strong sense of pride. Pride meaning not I'm proud, I'm negative proud. There are some arrogant peacocks also. But pride means when I do a good job, please acknowledge my good job. If I put in an effort, please acknowledge the effort. I know, okay, I made a mistake, but anything good or not about what I did. If you keep on telling me all the wrong things I've done, then what good am I here if I don't do anything right? So acknowledge where you can acknowledge. And peacocks have a tendency to be sarcastic if they're very upset. And that's the truth. Eagles will be in your face. You like it, don't like it, your problem. Yeah. Doves, silent movie, no subtitle.
Okay.
So you don't know what's in the mind. So that's the challenge with every type also. Owls will come after this.
Okay.
So, but peacocks, that's the challenge. But peacocks, they don't sulk for too long. They don't merajuk too long. You pujo, they're okay. They know you realize, okay, good. Right? Or they know that you want to make an effort. They know you feel the relationship is important. So, okay. Right? For doves, if they're upset, you will not know. They won't tell you. They only tell the people they trust. Right? Even in a meeting, right? You go for a meeting and you have so many doves there, it will be a very quiet meeting. And even if they disagree with you in the meeting, they might not let you know. They're not sure, safe or not safe. But after the meeting, what they do, they have another meeting amongst themselves.
Only and they hope you pass by over here.
Correct. So, eagles, in the meeting itself, they might interrupt you. No, stop. Hold on. What is this? What's the point?
I've done that at a press conference once. I was asked to leave.
Oh, really? See? So that's just your nature. I cannot teach you those things, It comes automatically. You don't tell people, you must learn to interrupt. No, it automatically happens. And if a person does not get to the point quickly, you get what's the word? You get distracted. You're like
agitated.
Yeah, correct. So that's the eagle. So the peacock is the type where it's about relationships, it's about the connection. Work will be work will always be there. But the relationships I cannot lose. So for them, they cherish that a lot. And if a leader knows that the staff is a peacock, you must connect, If you just connect with work, not enough. If with the eagle, you connect extra than work, it takes some time. Because for the eagle, you want me to do something? Don't do something? What's the point of the conversation? No, I just want to get to know you. Yeah, but boss, I'm a very busy boss. There's always something there. There's always something on the to-do list. So it's really you, right? Okay, very good. If I know my staff is a dove, then when I come and talk to the dove, I must be patient. Because the way I speak also, I have to manage my tone. I have to manage my volume. And I cannot suddenly give them last minute or they will freak out. So for them, I have to be patient when I ask them a question. So how, Vinod, what do you think? Then the dove is thinking, how do I answer? I must, and so you're wondering also, did you get my question in the first place? So you have to be patient because that second time you ask the question, the system will shut down.
Oh.
Because they're like, okay, maybe he's angry. And you're not aware of your tone. So when you have an eagle boss and a dove staff, oh my goodness. You see? So very different scenario. Even if you have a dove boss and an eagle staff, also different scenario. So sometimes you're not sure, if it's a dove boss and eagle staff, sometimes the boss who is the dove is wondering, who is the boss? Am I the boss or the eagle is the boss? Because the eagles can be quite strong. But the purpose is, I want to get the job done. If you cannot make a decision, I am going to be delayed. Then I have to deal with the music after that. So it's all good intentions, but different approach. So that's the difference. So if you understand that as a leader.
No, wait, owl. You haven't got to owl.
Yeah, correct. It's easier to engage. So now owl. Okay, now owls are the opposite of peacocks.
Introverts.
So they're introverts. So owls are quiet. They are the thinkers of the group. Out of all the four, they are the most analytical. Right? They are the ones that you will have plan A, plan B, plan C. That's how the owls are. They are the deep thinkers. Sometimes they are too deep, then they get lost, they cannot come out. They love content. They love data. They are the facts, figures, numbers, Mr. and Miss SOP. Follow the SOP. There's a SOP there, why are you not following? It's there for a reason. Peacocks will say it's not God's word. Okay, it's not carved in stone. So the owls and the peacocks will argue. The eagles and the doves, they are the opposites. The owls and the peacocks will argue. But the owls are the types, they listen more. So the owls and the doves share something in common. They are more on the quiet side. Right? But some doves and owls listening say, no, but I think I'm an owl, but no, I'm also vocal. Depends on your second type. If you're an owl eagle or an owl peacock, you might speak up a bit more than the very strong owl or the owl dove. If you're an owl dove combination, super quiet. Super quiet. And I have some leaders coming to me, Suresh, my department, right, very quiet. People are just quiet. First thing in my brain, confirm personality. And when I see this leader talking, I know from there more or less how to know what personality, right? This one must be a peacock eagle wanting people to talk. And their staff, they hire doves and owls. So when I do the assessment, I already know beforehand what's going to come out. And when I show it to him, oh, no wonder. Yeah, but you're hiring these people, no? And normally, which department is this? Finance department. IT department. Yes. So you go into the finance department, you are thinking, which library is this now?
Yes.
Kind of scenario. So owls, out of all the four types, they are the most analytical, they are the deep thinkers, they are the ones that basically keep things in order. They are the most structured ones.
Okay.
Right? So in DISC, we call them compliant. Right? So they will follow the rule to the T, And they will listen to people who are experts in their area. You want to gain the trust of the owl, you need to make sure you know your stuff. Come with the facts, figures, numbers, data. Don't tell me I heard, I feel, I think. Hello, you know or don't know? If the eagle says, I think we need to go ahead, based on what do you think? Show me. No, I've dealt with the customer, the customer says this. Show me where the customer says this. That is the owl. Okay, don't just come up with your random ideas. I want to make sure when I do the job, I do it correctly the first time itself.
They'll make damn good operational CEOs.
Oh yeah, of course. CEOs. So the COO, remember I told you? He's super owl. The CEO is an eagle peacock.
Yeah. They'll make awesome operation guys.
Oh, awesome. So
you're
never
stray the line, I tell you.
Quality control. Massive. So certain people.
So how do you identify these traits? By a test?
Yes, there's a profiling tool.
I see.
Later I do that with you.
Okay. I can tell you the answer. Okay.
Correct. So the owls, okay. So the strengths of the owls are detail-oriented, precise, accurate, deep thinkers, analytical. They love complex issues. For them, complex issues challenge their thinking. So they want mentally challenging things. Physically challenging all depends, but mentally challenging things for them exciting. So when they are in jobs that they have to figure out solutions for problems, oh, amazing. If they are in jobs that they need to make sure things follow a particular structure, oh, they will do very well. Research, they will do very well. They will go very deep.
So like most scientists also should be owls.
You're right. They will have the owl. So you'll see the character when they speak, they normally the learn, they listens more. You know? So when you go for science conferences, very boring. Lah.
All silent.
One or two peacock type of or owl peacock there made the whole session interesting. Because he had or she had a different flavor, no?
Yeah.
That's the scenario. So owls, we call them the get it right.
Okay.
Do means do properly, if not, don't do. The challenge is sometimes these people might, they go too deep into detail and they lose sight of priority. They want to make sure everything is perfect. So they become perfectionists. And the challenge with owls are also the type that give themselves the most amount of stress. Because they want to be perfect. So trying something new, only after I get enough data. I need to be ready so I don't make a mistake. So business doesn't wait that way. So if you put an owl on top there, you have to see. If it's an owl dove, not so easy. That owl dove CEO will need to put in quite a bit of effort to build his eagle or her eagle peacock nature for that role. I have one particular client, Swedish guy, and he's a dove eagle. Luckily, number 2 is eagle. Rare, but they exist. Right? All his GMs are eagles. If he did not have the eagle as number 2, and sometimes I'm also wondering, maybe he had to develop it. He would have been eaten alive by all his GMs. You know? And so when he did this with us, he says, you see, Suresh, if I don't have this eagle, all these people, all eagles, right? And some of them eagle peacocks, very vocal, very assertive, can become aggressive also. I have to say no. But if he was not having that combination, it will be difficult. He can say, but it will be very difficult. Because you have to put in a lot of effort, find a way how to tell these guys to back down. Not easy. Because that's your nature. So you put your nature in the work environment. If it matches, amazing. Automatic motivation. If I put a particular nature in an opposite environment, of course you have opportunity to learn. But see, when you are weak at something, you only become average. And after a lot of effort. Right? You can get the job done probably, but you yourself are not satisfied. I will never get the best out of you because that's not part of you. But I can get the job done. If you are good at something and you put effort, you become excellent. So those days, 20, 30, not even 20, 30, 40 years ago, it was like just hire somebody to put in that role to do the job. HR has also matured and learned. Right? And in my industry, it's very obvious, we can see. You need to get the right person for the right job. So now you'll hear that a lot. Put the right person in the right job, not any person in the job. So if leaders understand these 4, then it will make a lot of difference. Right? So that's one aspect. So the owls are the get it right. So the owls and the eagles, all about task. One is get it done, one is get it right. Some people have a owl-eagle-owl combination.
Oh, that'd be good, eh?
That is a get it done right.
Get it done.
Do it fast, on time, and correctly. Now, but if this leader becomes a leader, when it comes to people skills, it's a challenge. Because your top 2 personality is very task-oriented. Engaging, motivating, inspiring might not be immediate. You have to find a way and to connect to your staff who are not like you. They will see you, this one is Hitler. This one is like, top down. This one is like not willing to listen. Only his way or her way is the right way. That's the scenario. So, but if you know that that's your leader, when you go and meet that leader, so staffs listening to this must understand, focus, observe. And we say this, study your leader as like a PhD. How he thinks, how she makes decisions, what type of risks they take. Before they take risk, what do they do? And if you can support them in that way, you can be an opposite type, but you can connect immediately.
So, like, what creates these different types of leaders, though? These groups. What's the reason for their creation?
Mother and father.
So how they?
No, mother and father means DNA, not even upbringing. So personality is inborn. Character is learned. So if you imagine this. Imagine an iceberg, okay? An iceberg, on top is what you see, on top of the sea level, right? That's the behavior that you see. Correct? Now, at the bottom, you got two parts. One is at the bottom, that the base is your personality, that when you were born, it's like that. That's how you are. You're an eagle, peacock, dove, owl. Done. Okay? Now, but how does that eagle, peacock, owl, and dove mature and grow? It's based on the external forces that are put on that child from the time they are born. So what does that mean? Let's say you are a dove, but your parents are eagles. They will give you rules, they will set a lifestyle according to eagle style. So you, being a dove, will grow up in an eagle, mother and father environment. And you will learn a bit on how to manage eagles, how to become a bit more eagles compared to the doves who did not grow in that environment. So that's where you build character. That's called character development. So your personality is there. Then environment, media, your school, your friends, your teacher, especially your parents, have a huge impact on you.
Okay.
So then you build character. Then that character, how do you know the character? Based on the behavior you see. So a leader is a combination of this. Now, if a leader is not able to manage that inbuilt personality well, they're not able to morph, they're not able to, we call it flex or stretch in our language, then it becomes difficult for the staff. So I have some clients where you put, especially in a crisis, this is a conglomerate, and the chairman knew exactly which GM to take and put in which struggling company, because he's super eager. He will go there, either he will close the company or he will U-turn the company. But in a company which is doing very well, he put him there, he disrupts the entire system because things are already okay. Now you come and disrupt because that's your style, right? And that's naturally, and he produces results that way. So he will work very well in that environment. So if you're going to choose somebody for mass, and mass is going downhill, you better choose the person who can make tough decisions, unpopular decisions, deal with all the flack which is going to come, because you will have all the other birds down there, no? And even in your second liners also, you will have all these birds. So you need also to find the right person. So personality makes a difference. Competence does not connect back to personality, but how much effort you're going to do to build that competence. Then the personality will basically be the indicator. So, for example, I have one client. I coined this to just describe them because it was a very interesting experience for me. Again, MNC. I call this company suffering from AIDS. The company suffers from AIDS. So AIDS, acquired immune deficiency syndrome. So I change it. For me, it is called always in denial syndrome.
Okay.
And what causes AIDS? HIV. So they also have the HIV virus.
Which is?
So it's human immunodeficiency. What the I is immunodeficiency virus, right? Or human immunovirus, whatever you call it. So HIV in this context is happy information virus. So this client of mine, the top leaders, only want to hear good stuff. If there is a complaint, there is an issue, don't tell me. Solve it. So their intention is good, but as a result, they don't want to listen to the people. Because sometimes the people at the bottom cannot make the decision for those things. It's a systemic issue, or it's an inbuilt structural issue. So you need the top to listen. You're not interested. There is one of the you have vision and all that stuck on the walls. One of their taglines is never look upward. So don't look up for answers. Find it within. Very zen. But people are like, so can I talk to you or not, boss? When I come to you with a problem, don't come to me with problems. I hire you to give me solutions. That's the idea, no? But people cannot connect. So as a result, what happens is they're not performing. So then they call people like me. As I told you, always in the storming stage, they call me. So when I go there, I interview 250 plus people out of 260 people, almost 100%. And you find out they just do things to survive. They just do things. They don't know how to, They don't know how to speak in a way where the bosses will be receptive. Because they also have no solution. They have options, but it's not a 100% thing. So I think my boss will not listen to me. But anyway, let's decide.
Okay.
So coming back to our 4 birds.
Okay.
So these 4 now, you're clear.
Yeah.